Okay, so to decorate the folio, I'm going to be using this. I think this came from Michael's. I'm pretty sure it came from Michael's. But anyway, it's called Sweet Harvest. I have used some of it in projects from last year, so I'm going to try to use a few more sheets. I do have some scraps. If any of them fit, I will be using those too. I don't think too much about what paper I'm going to use because it all goes together beautifully. Okay, so I will start off decorating the front, and then you can watch me do the rest of it without me chattering, and I'll just put some music on. This is, all of these little panels will all be done the same way. So all I'm doing here is marking where I want to cut that. Here's my fold line. Okay. So I'm going to put this here. This is actually the front of the folio. And I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac to glue this down. And I'm not doing any distress inking around this. I just wanted to do something quick and easy. The file folder is distressed with coffee. That's good enough for me. And just place that in there and make sure you're not interfering with any of the folds. Give that a good squish. Get that glue spread out. Get my little glue rag here and get that pressed down the rest of the way. You just want to make sure you have a lot of good adhesion around the edges. Okay. Now, to reinforce the spine, I'm going to cut a little strip of paper here. So I'm looking through my scraps. I'm going to lay that right up against that score line and make a little tiny mark on the inside of this score line. And then we'll cut us a piece for the spine. Okay, for this part right here, the easiest way to do this is to trace. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this piece here because it's long enough. I'm just going to glue this down, and then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut around the edges. So let's go ahead and get that. That's the easiest way to do it. Or you could lay it down and just trace around it and then cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead, lay this down, making sure I don't go past that crease right there. just make sure, and I've already screwed that up. It goes on this side. So while the glue is still wet, I'm going to mop some of that up. So yeah, I have to pay attention to what I'm doing here. This wraps around to the back, so the paper's got to go here. Let's try that again. It's good to see the mistakes so that you don't have to make them. Again, don't want to overlap that crease. Give it plenty of room. All right. All right, I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. And you're going to apply that same principle here on this side, both on the front and the back, okay? These two sides will be just like the front, and then we're going to cut little pieces to fit here. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some music on, and you can watch me do the rest of this. Okay, I'm going to jump in here real quick and show you. Actually, I didn't have to put any paper in there, but it's okay. It just makes the file folder a little bit stronger, or the pocket a little bit stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little pocket down. And it's actually just a little tuck, so we're just going to glue it right there on that one side. And then I'm going to glue here and here. And by folding it to the back of the folio, it gives you a lot more room in here. Okay, so that's a really nice pocket there and a tuck here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our spine. Okay, so before we put this down, we need to make a little belly band to put our paper pad in. This is really not very wide, so we're not going to glue the belly band down to this sheet. We're going to actually wrap it around this piece of paper to give as much room as possible for this to slide down in. Okay, so here's a scrap of paper. I want it to wrap around about an inch or so. Don't have to be that precise. Okay, and then I'm just going to give this a nice straight line So what is that? 2 3/4 inches. Again, this part is not a big deal. You just want something to hold that in. All right. Put it up about an inch to 3/4 of an inch from the top. And we're going to fold these in. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get those glued down. So you just want to take the back of the paper pad and just slide it down inside this little belly band, just like that. And it'll hold it there. Isn't that cool? All right, let's continue on. This side of the pocket seems to be okay, but this side is encroaching a little bit, so I'm going to trim a tiny little sliver of this off. Actually, it'll be easier if I cover it first and then trim it. Let's see if this scrap works. Yep. Perfect. And I'm going to find the center of this and go ahead and cut a thumb notch. Well, I didn't get that very straight. So much for marking. All right. So we don't want to put this down yet because we have our little scrap that we cut off over here. And we're going to make another pocket out of that. But I'm going to have to seriously trim that down on the sides. So let's see if we can find another scrap that will fit here. Actually, this is going to work because that's about how much I'm going to have to cut off the sides. So let's go ahead and glue. This project is great if you have some large scraps that you want to get rid of. And that is going to work nicely. So let's go ahead and see if we can do a better job of cutting a notch in this one. Okay, this will sit here. And I'm only going to glue on 2 sides. That way it allows you to tuck a tall tag or journaling card in there, and it can go all the way to the bottom. So let's go ahead and glue this pocket down first. Just these 2 sides. Placement is a personal preference. Then we have this last little scrap, and we're going to cover it and make it a little tuck right here. Okay, and I just set this right down here in the corner, and we're going to glue on this side and across the bottom. All right. So here's where we are so far. So we just got this one piece to do, and it has to be, we need paper on both sides. Although I really like this pink. Yeah, I'm going to go with the pink. So let's glue it down. So you can leave this paper on here. I don't particularly care for it, so I'm going to put something else on it. I think that is big enough. Okay, so we have this one, and we have this one. I think what I'm going to do, because it kind of is disappearing into the background, is put a piece of paper behind it. Okay, there we have it. We have a new one. There's my prototype. Super easy to make. So you have a pocket here, and a tuck spot here. Of course, your paper pad slides down into a little belly band, and on the back you have a large tuck spot here and a smaller tuck spot here. So these are perfect to carry in a tote with you everywhere, do your grocery list, your shopping, whatever it is you need. You can use them for anything. Tuck in your receipts. I put tags in here. I will make tags for this one, but you can see how that's going to work. All right, perfect. Again, as always, if you have any questions about anything you saw me do, please do not hesitate to leave your questions in the comment section below. And if you found inspiration in this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will consider doing that as well. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope you have a very blessed day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.